in at this point of time on the broadcast. Latest in the Bengaluru metro collapse probe, we are getting to know that the IISC has submitted its report in the metro collapse case. The report states that the pillar crashed due to inadequate support. The team has found faults in the supporting wire. It is the latest development pouring in on the broadcast, wherein a young mother was murdered in the IT capital. Metro pillar crashed on a mother and a toddler were killed. My colleague Deepak joins us on the broadcast to give us more info on this. Deepak, take us through this development that is pouring in, wherein this Bengaluru's killer infra metro collapse that had taken place, the probe which was underway. The IISC has now submitted a report on the metro collapse. And they have said that this crashed due to inadequate support. Give us more details.
Yes, what we can confirm to our viewers at this point is that the IISC, of course, had carried out an investigation into the metro collapse that, of course, killed 2 people in Bengaluru. They were trying to investigate structurally what was wrong, and in terms of how the construction was going about, or in terms of any other mechanism that failed, is the assessment that the IISC Civil Engineering Department, led by Professor Chandra Kishan, of course, was trying to assess. They have now completed that report. Email was sent to the BMRCL, is what we've learned on Saturday, and today a hard copy of the same has been presented before them. The report suggests that the guy wire supporting system has failed in this particular case. They've given all the details, the calculations pertaining to the same as well. We've also been told that they've advised that from now on there be a 2-stage construction, that when there is, of course, a pillar which is as tall as the one that we saw collapse, the first half needs to be concreted, and then the construction of the second part needs to be done. And as far as in this particular incident, they've also found that if there was a crane that was used to support this metal cage from the top, probably it would have given more support to the guy wire supporting system, which eventually failed, leading to the entire metal cage leaning towards one side and then eventually collapsing and falling onto the bikers there, and 2 of them losing their lives.
Right, Deepak, thank you for giving us those updates. At this point of time, Professor Chandra Kishan, he's from the Department of Civil Engineering, IISC, is joining us on the broadcast. Professor Kishan, when it comes to a life-threatening event like this, where, it was a tragedy that mother was killed and the metro pillar had crashed, on the road. I mean, this situation, as per the report which has now come out, it is very clearly saying that it was due to inadequate support and the pillar was not adequately supported. What next needs to be done in this regard?
Yes, it is very unfortunate that this incident has taken place. So, as I had mentioned in the report, it's the inadequacy of the supporting system of the reinforcement cage which has led to the collapse. So I have given several recommendations, like how to avoid future such incidences. Like for example, being a very tall structure, this should have been done in 2 stages. So that adequate stability will be there for this reinforcement cage. And also that there should be a crane, which is because whenever there is such tall structures, what happens is the reinforcement cannot be tied in one stage. There will be a lap, and that forms a weak link. And in such cases, whenever there is a weak link, there is a tendency for this cage to bend. And when this happens, the guy wire system, the guy wires become slack, and extra load comes, extra tensile forces come on the remaining guy wires. So because of this, the guy wire snapped and led to the fall of the cage. So I have mentioned that the time gap between the reinforcement tying, the formwork fixing, and most importantly concreting should be reduced. And also there should be a redundant supporting mechanism in place, because if any of these systems fail, there will be some additional redundancy in the system. So, and also some kind of a safety drills have to be conducted at the site. And there are many other actions which I have mentioned in my report, which will prevent further accidents. Like, for example, all the apart from the two-stage construction, the method statements, especially for temporary structures, these are all called temporary structures, and not much attention is paid to them. So, detailed method statements should be made available at the site so that all the temporary structures are properly inspected and certified by the BMRCL engineers. And also a checklist should be kept in place for the temporary structures so that proper inspection takes place.
Right, Professor Kishan, thank you for giving us that detailed information on how we can probably avoid such situation, this deadly situation that had taken place in Bengaluru, wherein, it could have happened and injured more people and could have killed more people on the road. But thank you for speaking with us and giving your details.